karting used to look like. This is what karting looks like now. 26 multicoloured, high-powered machines, the latest engine technology, adjustments that you make not in inches or centimetres but in millimetres. And some of the finest young karters in the world heading onto the circuit, being led by Mattia Zagazzetta and Joseph Taylor, then Evan Spenley and Delano Van 't Hoff in row 2. Ellie Goldstein, the grandson of Francois, on row 3 in kart number 48, and alongside Ellie, that is Rasmus Janssen in kart number 30, Enzo Juli from France, and Josh Dufek from Germany. They are on row number 3, and you can see Joseph Taylor going through. He's looking over his shoulder trying to find out where the pole sitter is. So they'll do 2 rolling laps before we start this 8-lap race. So the first lap is to get the engines up to temperature, to get them running in smoothly, because you can't simply turn one of these karts on and just blast out of the grid gate and start a race, because you'll find that you'll go about 3 corners before something expensive goes wrong. So you do need to warm the tyres up and get the engines warmed up. Number 11 going through your screen there, that is Sara Tabacci, the Italian lady, the 13-year-old from Codenons in Italy, the Bull Racing team. And Sara, a keen amateur photographer when she's not racing her go-kart. But down the back straight we go, even in junior form. The kart's doing well over 70 miles an hour, and if you want a comparison, the next time the camera does a shot of the karts going down the back straight, look how fast they're going in relation to the cars on the highway, and that gives you an idea of just how fast these young men and women aged 12, 13, 14 and 15 are going. Into turn number 12. Can number 8, Mattia Zagazzetta, hang on to the lead? Watch on the 6th row. Number 1, Chris Lullum, and number 53, Tor Stalmans. Can they make a move? Joseph Taylor on the outside of the front row. Zagazzetta leads them to the line. We're off and racing. Zagazzetta holds on to the lead. Evan Spenley, his Fusion teammate, diving up the inside, and that is going to push Zagazzetta wide. Oh, and there's a crash behind. There's 2 separate crashes. Karts going over the top of one another, and that's the number 17, that's Delano Van 't Hoff and Joseph Taylor who have come together, and in front of them there was another accident, and that looked like a Piers Sexton racing kart getting itself sorted out. Was that Chris Lullum? He was in the middle of the pack, and the leaders, well, no, there's Lullum going through, so he's emerged unscathed, but there are several other PSR team karts in this field, or maybe the Fusion team and the PSR team look quite similar from a distance, but it is Evan Spenley who made the move to the inside, and Ellie Goldstein was also trying to make his presence felt going into turn number 1, and on the outside Delano Van 't Hoff and Joseph Taylor just had nowhere to go. They eventually found each other, but at the end of lap number 1 it's Ellie Goldstein who leads after a great start from Evan Spenley, the Parisian driver now based in the UK. Oh, and behind him there's another crash, and that's the pole sitter that runs over the top of the number 30 PDB racing team kart of Rasmus Janssen. So Mattia Zagazzetta, well, is that kart okay? Yes, it is. It looked like Rasmus Janssen was the one that spun, and Zagazzetta trying to go around the outside just clipped the Swedish driver's kart, and so Mattia Zagazzetta has to wait a bit longer for his first win here in Europe, because it's not going to happen now. Zagazzetta actually returns the track in stone last place. Number 38 kart, Remo Katapik, was one of the drivers that had that incident earlier on. There's the number 20, that's the Japanese driver for Evolution Racing. That is Masatora Wada going through. He's mid-pack, and there's yellow flags waving at the final corner, so other drivers have gone off. So this is a bit of a tardy start, I have to say. Well, Ellie Goldstein isn't worried about that. Well, why is that yellow flag waving? Is there a kart off the circuit out of my viewpoint? Well, does it matter? The rest of the track is clear. It's Goldstein from Spenley, then Chris Lullum up to 3rd from 11th on the grid. So Lullum, like a champion, managing to sense and avoid and react to the accidents around him and ease his way through. Enzo Juli is 4th. There's 2 wide, one of the Fullerton karts on the outside. That could have been Ossi Peltola losing a place there in cart number 13. But it's Enzo Juli in the number 19 cart, the back of that shot there, going through in 4th place. And just watch Lulham now begin to pick his way past Evan Spenley. There he goes to the inside. And Spenley cannot respond. Ellie Goldstein, who has followed Lulham home in both races so far. How long can the Belgian driver in cart number 48, the Team Goldstein, so it's a family-run team, how long can he hold off the number 1 plate cart of Chris Lulham? All 22 drivers are still running. Oh, sorry, all 26 drivers are still running. In fact, no, they're not. Flynn Jackers in cart number 45 has retired. That's the second time in 3 races that Flynn, the Australian driver, has failed to finish. But in that 3rd race where he did make it to the checkered flag, he made it to the checkered flag into the top 10. But he'll be starting the pre-final from the back, I have no doubt. Goldstein into turn number 9. Lulham watching, biding his time, waiting. Doesn't make a move there. Julie and Spenley, or Spenley and Julie rather, 3rd and 4th, and a small gap to Tyler Reid in cart number 22. And there's the move. Lulham passing Goldstein. Goldstein says, "You're not having it that easily, mate." And just a crossover move like a driver that knows this circuit extremely well. And he retakes the lead. Lulham, though, with the fastest lap of the race, and Lulham finds a gap and now runs Goldstein a bit wide at turn number 5. And I have to say that Lulham, he was a bit too busy concentrating on making sure that Goldstein had his line ruined. And Evan Spenley saw the door open, and like the Red Sea parting, he went straight through into the race lead, and he brought Enzo Juli in the number 19 cart, the CBK team driver, into P2. Lulham back to 3rd then. There's Evan Spenley into turn number 11. Then it's Juli, the driver from Montpellier in France. Then it's Lulham. We'll watch the 13-year-old from Guildford in England pass Juli to take P2. Just behind them is Goldstein, and joining that lead group in 5th position, the number 22, the Piers Sexton racing cart of Tyler Reid. Tyler, his first season out of cadets, as Lulham retakes the lead from Spenley, and Spenley gets run wide going on to the back straight. Angus Moolsdale, the Scotsman from Glasgow, sets the fastest lap of the race in cart number 23. Moolsdale is down in 16th position, so I feel that he was caught up in one of the opening lap incidents and lost quite a bit of time, so he's recovering. The pole man, Matthias Zagazeta, is down in 20th. Tua Stallmans, who I name-checked earlier as someone to watch out for, he's up into 6th position and is just approaching. He's there on that black and gold cart, the driver with the black race suit with the yellow, luminous yellow stripes on it. He's in 6th position, but Lulham leads from Juli, from Goldstein. Reid in 4th place, having a strong run, is Tyler Reid, the TLR Carcom sponsored driver. Then it's Spendler and Stallmans, and Goldstein repasses Juli for 2nd. Moolsdale, another new fastest lap, 56.527. That's actually 0.2 of a second quicker than Christopher Lulham. Although Lulham, now with clean air, puts in a purple first sector. That means that is the fastest first sector of anybody in this race. The predominantly white with a bright pink flecks on the rear bumper of that number 1 cart. Lulham comes through there. Jason Leong, the Canadian driver, in cart number 42, the Peter De Bruyne racing driver from Richmond in British Columbia. He is getting a warning flag for some incident. He's down in 15th place, is Jason. And now you can see that Lulham has had over a lap of clean air, and he's stretching his legs. 56.324. That's 0.2 of a second quicker than Moolsdale's previous fastest lap. Juli is 3rd. Then it's Reid and Spenley. So Tyler Reid doing a good job of just holding on and holding off the more experienced drivers, but just behind Spenley is Tua Stallmans as Chris Lulham comes around turn number 8 up the short straight towards the spectators into turn number 9, and now through turn 10. Again, very experienced driver. Even though he's only 13 years old, he races in competitions all over the world. And he checks over his shoulder. You can see he's sitting bolt upright. There's the checkered flag. Easy win for Chris Lulham. Didn't have to defend on the last lap at all. A casual glance over his shoulder. That is a hat-trick, a clean sweep for Chris Lulham, his mechanic. Team Wales original member, Ollie Richards. In fact, Ollie told me that there's only 2 original team members of Wales, or original Team Wales members left in karting now. He's one of them, I'm the other. And neither of us are in any danger of sitting behind the steering wheel anytime soon. Well, one of us can still fit behind the steering wheel, and it's not me. So Chris Lulham